Okay, so the anti-inflammatory spice mix is basically something that I came up with a couple of years ago. I used to do culinary workshops for the U.S. Endocrine Society. So they would have the annual convention of endocrinologists from around the world, and they had a beautiful culinary stage. And they'd have me make recipes, to make little booklets to give to the endocrinologists, to give to their patients. And it was wonderful because I was like a rock star there, because everybody at the convention was presenting papers on like this study and this, and then finally we got to have food and eat, and it was really, really fun. So it was a great thing. But I developed this little mix because it tastes great, and if you can put it on as many different foods as you like, it gives them a great flavor, but also you get anti-inflammatory benefits without even thinking about it. So the mixture calls for cinnamon. So you want to make sure that you're using pure cinnamon. And cinnamon is really wonderful for regulating blood sugar levels. It's also great for anti-inflammatory, but it has to be pure. In our country, the cinnamon can be cut with about 30% cassia bark, which is a little bit different. So you can either use the regular bark and have it ground that you know is cinnamon, or you can search out for an organic variety that is pure, and that way you'll be getting that benefit. There's nothing wrong with cassia, it's just you don't have the pure cinnamon to give you the effect that you want. So I'm going to add a little bit of that, and it's about a 1/4 cup of the cinnamon to a 1/2 cup of turmeric and ginger. So turmeric is really great. You know, they're giving it a lot in pills nowadays. It's one of those things that people are really recommending to be great anti-inflammatory, and also many other benefits. And it dates back to the Ayurvedic traditions in India. We're going to be talking about those as well. However, one thing to keep in mind when you're using the turmeric is it's fat soluble. So you want to be ingesting it with a little bit of fat, either a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of coconut oil. You know, when they're making the curries in India, they always start with an oil. They don't just eat the spices plain on their own. In this recipe, we're going to put it with salmon, so that's great because it's got a lot of great fats. But you want to have some kind of oil in order to help it to be more effective with your body than if you're just eating it alone. Is that something you tell your patients to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fat, and I know also pepper and the turmeric work very well together. And even if you're taking a vitamin, if you don't have fat with that, you're not going to absorb it. So I just think a little bit of fat is very good at almost any setting.
That's great. And then we've also got ginger. So we're doing ground ginger here. Ginger is great for upset stomachs, for digestion, for things like that. Also in the Ayurvedic tradition, it's believed to heat up the body's fire element. So in the winter, or whenever you're cool or have a cold, ginger is really, really good, but it also has a great anti-inflammatory benefit. So that goes in there. And then a little bit of cayenne pepper, and you can use this to your liking. And the pepper is good because it's good for people who have high blood pressure. It can be known to lower the blood pressure. It also gives us a little bit of flavor. With your red spices, you always want to keep them in the refrigerator. So you do this time actually want to keep them in the refrigerator, out of the heat, out of the light. They'll last a little bit longer. And you know, when we talk about spices, people say things like, how long do my spices last? Spices will last forever. I mean, you could have them around, you could eat something out of an Egyptian tomb and you'd be absolutely fine. It just wouldn't have any flavor, and it wouldn't have the health benefit. So you're losing, like the olive oil, you're losing the health benefit, you're losing the flavor over the time. So you want to consume them fresh. Do you like cayenne also?
You know, we Greeks don't have a lot of cayenne in our diet, so I don't know much about cayenne. But it's interesting about the ginger. There's some interesting studies now showing that ginger actually helps with peristalsis and moving things along the gut. And a lot of digestive problems are associated with kind of the GI system is kind of frozen, doesn't really move along. So, you know, ginger as a spice, ginger tea is a wonderful way to kind of clear your gut of bacteria that build up naturally. So I think it's a very underappreciated. You know, in the Mediterranean culture, they do a lot of ginger either.
Right.
So this is wonderful, getting the East and the West together.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to pass this around. So everyone, if you're not familiar with these spices, again, we're among friends. Just hold them up to your nose, smell them, and I'll mix them, and then they're going to be what we're going to use for our event. Yes.